everyone, welcome to our first Sekiro Shadows Die Twice stream. I stayed up quite past my bedtime last night and finished Dark Souls 3. So we are at the last game of our schedule for this month. I've done Bloodborne, Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin edition, and then Dark Souls 3, the Fire Fades edition. So now I am on Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. This game is considered one of the, if not one of the hardest From Software games by Miyazaki. It's one of the hardest to learn. It's got the steepest learning curve of all the games. So it's the skills, you know, there is parrying and there is like attacking and stuff like the other skills game, but it's a little different and doesn't really use souls either. It kind of uses like a standard skill tree. And there's a lot, it's like the whole game is based on parrying and staggering and building up the stagger meter and being able to do like kill shots on enemies and bosses. And so in that way it's like very different, and a lot of the people in the community agree that it's the hardest of the Souls games. I think, you know, that's subjective. It definitely could be the hardest of the Souls game, but I think what I would say and agree upon is it's got the hardest learning curve for sure. This game took me so long to learn. As I've said in previous Souls streams, am pretty bad at parrying, and like the Souls, like Dark Souls games, I never did parrying. So like even this last when I started streaming and did Bloodborne, like I was literally learning to parry for the first time in Bloodborne. Dark Souls, like I had to pretty much learn to parry when I was fighting Gwyn for the first time, like at the end of the game. And so this game took me, I think I like played through the part of it and did like the whole first two bosses without even like really getting into the parries much, and it wasn't until like the mid-game boss, Genichiro, Ashina, that I really kind of like locked in and had to learn the parry mechanisms in this game. But and then I remember when I did this game for the first time, like, and I was on the final boss. Oh my god, the final boss took me. I remember I like to finish. When I'm on a boss or doing something, I want to finish what I'm doing like that night or whatever, and so I was pretty much fighting that boss for probably 6 hours in one night, which for me is a long time. But I don't just like play for like 3 hours and then if I don't beat it, I put it down. I did the same thing with Contour Radon. I just like kept fighting him over and over again, and I was furious when I was like not doing well. But I finally got it. This game also has, I was just looking at the platinum requirements today, because I think I was at like 54% trophy guide before today. I did go through and finish up getting all of the last prayer beads that I didn't have before to fully maximize my health and posture to get that trophy, so I'm at like 57 now. Not very high, but pretty much the last trophies are all alternate endings of the game and upgrading certain things all the way to the max. So I didn't realize this game actually has 4 different endings that have a trophy for it, so you pretty much have to beat the game like 4 times, except one of them is a shorter ending, so like halfway, maybe 65% through the game is the ending, if you do one route, so that is interesting. So yeah, there's going to be, so I've done one of them, but I'll have to, so this playthrough I'll do another one, but then there's going to be like a lot of different ones to do, so anyway. Here we go. Starting New Game Plus 1 right now. I've only beaten this game once on PlayStation, so this is the second time ever I'm playing it. Hell yeah, welcome, Jendi. Whereas like Bloodborne and the Souls game, the other Dark Souls games I was playing, that I played them like 3-4 times. This is actually only my second time playing this one. So that'll be kind of cool. I did kind of run through some of the areas earlier today looking for the last of the prayer beads, so I did kind of refamiliarize myself with some of the combat and fighting in some of the areas. But I would say in general, like, I probably remember this game as well as Bloodborne, so there might be some things I forget and stuff. I don't know them quite as well as Dark Souls, where I was able to kind of fly through Dark Souls 3 because I knew absolutely everything. I don't know, like, all of the little things of this game as well. But it's a cool story. It's Japanese, kind of like Ghosts of Tsushima, which I have not played yet. Well, I did a little bit of the gameplay on my friend's game, but I haven't like bought and played through myself yet. So that's on my list eventually. But it's kind of cool. Whereas Bloodborne is like a gothic horror alternative to the Dark Souls series. And Elden Ring kind of goes to like a more open world, still maintaining that high fantasy. This is like kind of like what Assassin's Creed did with Shadows. It kind of is like a Eastern samurai shinobi type vibe. Hang on, I'm just popping over, making sure my stream is all good. It keeps like saying I'm playing games plus demos, whatever that is, so I have to like update it. But also, I mentioned in Dark Souls 3 stream I got my new gaming PC and an ultra wide monitor, so I will be. I'll still probably be doing PlayStation streaming and games because I still want to do Black Myth Wukong and maybe a little bit more of Silksong, but I have Silksong now on the PC, and like I will be doing more PC gaming with the camera. So that'll be really exciting. It's all set up, but I'm also moving apartments this weekend in the same building, but kind of like moving across to another apartment. So I will have a brand new setup soon. So I'm kind of excited for all that. A lot of new updates happening lately for me, and so I'm excited. So this is where you start. You get that ornamental letter. I'm on New Game Plus, so I am gonna have some of the things will be locked, like the prosthetic tool right now until you get to that point, but I pretty much have all my skills and items that I had from before, like most New Game Plus. I've got my fully upgraded healing gourd to maximum, and like I said today, I made sure I finished upgrading my health and posture to maximum. But I don't have all the shinobi skills yet, or all my prosthetic tools upgraded to max, so those will be trophies I have to get to. I am going to tentatively try and get the platinum. I realized it's going to be less hard than I think it is, and I did actually a pretty good amount of my groundwork in the first playthrough I did, even as I was learning the game, so I could try and platinum. It's just going to be a matter of beating the game a couple more times and upgrading everything. There's also a stealth mode kind of aspect in this game, not like fully like Assassin's Creed like, but a little bit. There is a little emphasis on sneaking and eavesdropping, which is interesting. That's not in any of the other Souls games, but you can like sneak around, kind of sneak up on people. You can eavesdrop on conversations, and that's kind of part of the NPC storyline and everything. So left bumper on the PS5 is crouch, and kind of like AC, you can kind of crouch through the reeds and stuff. So the beginning of the game has you hugging a wall and crouching, just kind of being very like stealth-like and shinobi-like. Very different than the rest of the Souls games. And like I said, there aren't like getting souls to level up and putting it into stats in this game. It's skills and a skill tree, and you can get money for buying different upgrades and stuff, but it's kind of like some other video games in that regard. So I think I can see, like, you can see right here. So this is a new mechanic. This is not in the other Souls games, but if you sneak up on people, you can hit the down arrow, and then you can eavesdrop on their conversations. And that kind of helps you progress with the story and, like, NPC stuff. Challenge accepted. The other thing in this game, which I'm kind of jumping ahead here, that's a pretty view, is there's a grappling hook function where you jump from like building to building at certain points with your grappling hook, and that's like a big aspect of like moving through the world in this game. And this game was, I think, I want to say, let me not fake news. Let me fact check that. This was it really? Wow, Sekiro came out in 2019? I didn't know that. I thought it came out closer to when Bloodborne came out. Bloodborne was 2015. So, the reason I bring that up is because there are some aspects of moving through the world that are a little bit, like, less linear, but, like, looking up and down and kind of jumping in different ways than you would in the Bloodborne or Dark Souls games, which is kind of, like, leading towards what you see more in Elden Ring, where it's like more open world and there's like a verticalness to moving around the area. Like you don't just have to look for cutbacks and shortcuts like linearly and horizontal. You have to like look up and down and like around where you could like maybe jump down, and like that they very much kind of bring that element into this game. So we're gonna sneak through here. And this is where we meet Kuro, our master that we serve at the beginning. So the main character's in this game name is Wolf. He's a shinobi that serves this young master Kuro. So, again, unlike some of the other games, like the Dark Souls and Bloodborne and stuff, you really only get, like, one weapon in this game. It's not like you get a bunch of different weapons and change back and forth. This sword is his, like, shinobi sword, and you can, like, learn skills for it and, like, different upgrades, but you don't really get, like, 50 different, like, cool weapons like that you find throughout the world. Like it's in that regard, it's also very different. So you get Kusabimaru, whatever you say. So now I have my weapon. So we're in Ashina Castle, which Ashina is like the main area in this game, kind of like how Lordran is Dark Souls 1 or Lothric Dark Souls 3 or Dranglake in Dark Souls 2.
足の歯笛でほら昔聞かせてくれたであろ。こう
In Elden Ring, it's Leyndell.
その音を頼りにそなたのもとへ。狼よ、そなたからも何かあるのか？
これを巫女様に。
それはあの時に。そうか、気づいていたのだな。
持っていていただきたいのです。
だがこのお守りは今まで苦難を抑えそなたを守っていた。
I guess in Bloodborne the equivalent would be Canehurst, but that's kind of a side area. I guess Bloodborne doesn't really have like a big giant like castle thing. Like I said, I'm a little bit less familiar with this game and the NPC things than the other games, so I might kind of like consult guides and stuff. Oh, I didn't get this option in the base game. So I guess this is something I was not familiar with. So this is this decision right here at the beginning when you talk to Kuro is only on a New Game Plus run, and basically you can either choose to give Kuro the charm or to keep it. If you choose to keep the charm, the game's difficulty will remain the same as the first playthrough. So it kind of won't scale the same way as other New Game Pluses and the other Souls games. You also don't suffer chip damage for your imperfect blocks, and enemies will have the same amount of vitality, posture, and damage. But if you choose to insist that he take it and give away the charm, then it's essentially booting the game up into like hard mode, I guess. So you're going to take chip damage whenever you block imperfectly. Enemies are going to gain like increased posture, damage, and vitality. Except you also get 20% more XP and money from enemies. So it's like the hard mode. It says that if you choose to give the charm away right here, you can also get it back from the sculptor at the Dilapidated Temple, which is like basically the home base in this game, like the Hunter's Dream. But if you choose to take it back then from the sculptor, then you can't give it back away again. You can't turn it. You can't like choose hard mode, then choose easy mode, then choose hard mode again. So like it's one or the other. So for me, I am not like I do not consider myself a super skilled Sekiro player, and because I'm streaming this game, I do have a lot of the items and the skills and the stuff that you wouldn't have already unlocked on a first playthrough. But I think for the stream and for this playthrough, it could be nice to make it as close to a first playthrough as possible, just for the viewers and everything, and also just because I don't necessarily need to like challenge myself with the peak hard mode, because like I don't know, it's just, I could be happy playing through as like if it was a first run just with like having all my skills and stuff, because it really doesn't, it's not like the same as the Dark Souls games where you, like I said, you get souls and you put them into levels, and so the bosses will scale with that. So I'm going to keep it. I also have no videos, no boss videos for Sekiro. So this stream is going to be a great opportunity for me to get a lot of content for my YouTube channel for Sekiro, which is going to be great. So yeah, I'm going to just keep it. So the boss, it'll basically be the same level of difficulty as the first playthrough. I can still try and get alternate endings and get different trophies and platinum it, and I can still fight all the bosses and everything. So it's not really gonna, it just won't put it into hard mode. And I don't really need increased experience or money, like I said, because I keep all my skills and stuff. So if we're getting that trophy, I just need to continue getting experience points. I don't really need it to be increased. So let's run through some of the items here. So we got our healing gourd. This is like our Estus. Let's see. It's pretty much like in the other Souls games where you can slot things. Quick item use. This is the homeward idol. That's pretty much like a homeward bone, but it's kind of functions like in Dark Souls 3 when you get the coiled sword at the end, where it's like a permanent thing. It's not like you can always fast travel. This is going to be where your prosthetic tools are when we see the sculptor. We also have different skills that you unlock throughout the game in a skill tree. There's a little bit more to that, but I'll talk about that later. When I did my first playthrough, I used the Whirlwind Slash all the time. I would kind of like run in circles around the boss and just pop in and do that attack over and over again to chip their health damage rather than learning how to parry perfectly. So I'm going to keep that. The reason that slot was empty is because I had an ability in that slot that you only get later in the game when you get a specific weapon, and that's what I was using. But because we started New Game Plus, it took that away. And so the other thing, speaking of Whirlwind Slash, the other thing about this game is the stamina doesn't work like in the other games. You pretty much have like unlimited stamina. You can kind of run around endlessly. Stamina is not really a factor as much in this game. So that's kind of cool. So now for the basics of combat. This is where you kind of learn for the first time how to fight in Sekiro. It's going to be pretty much the foundation of this game. It's not like, because we talked about like the whole thing, you pretty much get unlimited stamina. You don't get souls to level up the same way. We pretty much talked about a lot of the differences from this game. So there pretty much is not really a way to do what you do in like Dark Souls 2, where you like kind of can break the leveling system and like get over leveled or like are under leveled. You just have to learn the combat and get good at it, and then that's it. Like every enemy and boss you fight throughout the game, you just use the same combat you learn. But that's why I said this game is one of the hardest ones, because it is such a learning curve. If you're not used to this game or the style of play, you're going to have to learn the fighting mechanics, and you're just going to have to keep getting better and better at them. There is no breaking your character and leveling up, because you can get different skills and stuff, but that's only going to help a little bit, So basically, you can sneak around an enemy and assassinate them. That's why I said it's... Oh, I do get the Mortar Sword. Okay, never mind. That's why I said it's like Assassin's Creed. But basically, otherwise, you have your attack. And if you saw that little red thing when I hit him, basically, when that appears, you can kill an enemy. And enemies' health works a little bit differently in this game. Instead of having like one giant health bar, they have a health bar, but they have a couple of those like different break opportunities. And so once you see that red thing, you can essentially finish an enemy off and kill them. When in this area, there's just a lot of beginning enemies, so they're not going to have incredible health. And as you saw there, I just did a perfect parry, which broke his stagger bar, basically, his posture limit, which is kind of like stagger in the other games, and then I had the opportunity to kill him. So in this game, like the two biggest things is their health bar, but really it's also the posture bar. Enemies have a posture bar, and you have a posture bar, and if you can break the enemy's posture bar, you get the opportunity for a killing blow. And as you'll see later, with a lot of the bosses, they'll require like 2 killing blows, for instance, to actually kill the boss. And so you have to like deplete their health bar once and kill them, and then, or like it's like you do the 2 killing blows. So it's a little different. And then a lot of the game, like I said, is based on parry timing. I chose the charm, so I'm not going to have chip damage if I don't do a perfect parry. If I parry, I parry, but like the perfect parry breaks the posture on them. And then can give you that ability. So I've gotten good enough at parrying at this point that I can play this game decently well. I mean, and I also practice parrying in Bloodborne and Dark Souls, and definitely especially in Lies of P. So, you know, I've gotten better and better at it, and like I said, I painstakingly and frustratingly learned it in the first playthrough. It's not my first inclination, because in the other Souls games, I don't parry. I do dodge rolling. So it's kind of nice that this game has infinite stamina for me, because I can just kind of like circle an enemy and dodge as much as I want, which I love. But then I pretty much still have to use the parry system. And it's not natural. But so this is the first mini-boss. This isn't a boss. As you can see, I have a stagger bar and he has a stagger bar. So my goal is to break his stagger bar so I can do a finishing blow like this. But as you can see with this mini-boss, he requires 2 death blows to kill. So he is not dead yet. He's got that other little bar up there. His health bar resets. And so we can kill him either by decreasing his health bar or by doing a death blow. Whichever comes first. So that's the first mini-boss. That wasn't the first boss, but that will introduce you to the 2 death blow requirements, and some of the harder bosses in this game, or mini-bosses that require more than just like the enemies we just fought. There are going to be shortcuts and cutbacks and stuff like that in this game. These yellow things, these are items. That's what items look like in this game. Like I said, there's a lot of verticality to it. We don't have our grappling hook thing yet, but you also don't really take that much damage from jumping or falling. Unless it's a long way. Kind of like Elden Ring. And you can do this like hugging the wall if there's ledges like that. Or ledge hangs, and you can also jump up and grab walls that look like this. So we are in the Ashina Reservoir right now, which we can access again later in the game, but it kind of leads to like, we have to get to that door. Who's that down there? Can I move? Oh, it's like a lizard that spews poison. There are beasts and enemies like that in this game, like in Bloodborne or Dark Souls. They're not all human enemies, but there's a lot more human enemies in this game than in the other ones. Like Bloodborne, there was like way more monster enemies. Dark Souls, it was kind of like a little bit of a classic mix, but this game is mostly enemies, or mostly human enemies. You can also do a second jump and bounce off the wall. So if you click it twice, you jump up twice. So. I probably have to go back up again. would be nice to have my grappling hook thing. Oh, there we go. So that like these walls you can double jump up and then grab with these, and PlayStation it's the square button. So these little tree things right here are going to be where you can use your grappling hook thing on later once we get it. They're all over buildings and trees and different areas in this game. So you come over here.
Okamiをよく見つけてくれた。さあ、参ろう。
御意。
血の定めから逃れることしかできぬとはな。この城を出て、まずはあるいはそなたは
御意の。
御意か。いや、さあ。
This game is very Japanese. I love it.
行こう。ここを抜け。
Also, I don't know if this game has an English. It probably does have like English audio, but I highly recommend you listen to it subbed. I feel like that gives it a more authentic experience.
Ashina, Mikoよ。おじ上の墓前以来か。
源一郎殿。私はすまぬ。
お任せを。
This is so badass.
邪魔立てするか、巫女の忍びを。
So, this is a fake version of the first boss fight, so you're not actually... I don't know if I can beat them. Actually, I might be able to, because this is my second playthrough. But on the first playthrough, you're not intending to beat them. Also, I haven't played this game in long enough. I probably won't be able to beat him on the first try. But he's like one of those bosses that you're supposed to lose to. I also forgot how to do whirlwind slash. Oh, there it is. Haha, I love that move. I basically would just like run around the boss course and then just do that move over and over again. Like this, and then I would just like dodge in, hit their health as I just saw I did, run around again, do it again. That's like how I fought Lady Butterfly for the first time, because I didn't know how to parry yet. As you can see, your stagger bar also builds up, so you want to like dodge out and then reset it every once in a while, because so that the bar comes down. But you want to build up their posture bar so that you can do a death blow. But if they break your posture, they also can do increased damage and get good shots in. Hell yeah. Alright, we got one death blow on him. I haven't looked up whether you can actually beat him here or not, but it would be interesting if... I wonder if it has like unique dialogue. Practice though, to get back into this game. Ugh, well, I was close.
忍びとてこの程度か。巫女はもらっていくぞ。
So he beats you, cuts your arm off, and takes the divine air. So you get fitted with a prosthetic arm, which is like a key thing in this game. It's kind of like in Lies of P, how the puppet has one arm that does different skills. And this guy right here is the sculptor. He's like essentially what a smith in the Dark Souls game, like Andre is. He's the one who fits new prosthetic arms on you once you find them in the game and upgrades like your prosthetic arm. So you can fit a new prosthetic tool when you collect them throughout the game. As you can see, I have them all. And to be quite honest, I don't have a perfect memory of where each one is. So I probably, you know, I'm trying to do these games as much as a walkthrough as possible, but this won't be very good at that for the prosthetic locations. In addition to the prayer beads, like I have all of those already too, and you don't get those again. So once you do a run through and have all the prayer beads, like that's it. But I did just recently kind of look them all up and go through some of them, so I will try and point out those locations as much as possible throughout this stream, but I have all the prosthetic arms already. You can also upgrade your prosthetic arm, which I have not done that. That is one of the trophies I need to grab. But I did put a little bit of work into it, so I've got, like, I'm on this level right now, so I need this one, this one, this one, this. So the ones that are red circles I haven't gotten, and the red squares I have. So there's a trophy for upgrading one to the max level right here. So that I will be trying to do. Obviously, as you can see, that's going to be easier for me to do on a New Game Plus run. Perk of doing that, and then giving myself the best chance to do that by making the game a little easier to play by keeping Kuro's charm. So, because I would like to platinum if I can. Although I'm going to have to, I would have to do more work for that, like even after this stream, because I would have to beat the game another 1.5 times after this run, basically. So, there is this over here. At some point, you'll be able to fast travel to a unique area that's kind of a side part of an area that's later in the game here, but we're not there yet. So this is the main temple. This is like the Hunter's Dream or the Firelink Shrine. Rather than being like a kind of like completely separate place that's removed from the rest of the world, like the Firelink Shrine, or like not the Firelink, like the Hunter's Dream. The Firelink Shrine is connected, but this one is also kind of like connected because you like go out from here into the next area, like the preceding areas. And over here, the Sculptor's Idol is basically what like a bonfire is, or the lamps in Bloodborne. And this is where you can do all your things. You can rest. That does reset the area, just like all of the rest of the games, but it also restores your health and everything. I don't know what of these in your menu you'll have if it's your very first playthrough, but eventually you'll have all of this. You can travel to any of the shrines you've already found. You can buy spirit emblems from enemies you may have beaten. You can acquire skills in the skill tree, so as you can see, like with this one I've gotten all the skills, but there are multiple different skill trees, and you earn skill points by killing enemies and bosses, and then you can spend them on upgrading your skill tree here, like so. And there's also a trophy for getting all the skills. Now, to unlock different skills, you have to find the different esoteric texts throughout the game. There are 5 of them. And I've already done that. That's another thing I've already done, but you'll have that. And once you find your prayer beads, when you get 4 of them, you can come over here and enhance physical attributes, which increases your health and your posture, which is like for parrying and stuff. That bar that is your posture bar. But again, I've gotten all of them. I got that trophy today before I did the stream, and so mine's like fully maxed. My attack, you can enhance your attack power when you get battle memories from different bosses and enemies. Mine is at 14. That's the max you can get on a first run. You can change form and like go into a different memory. Reflection of Strength is fighting a boss over again that you've already fought. This is kind of a spoiler because these are all bosses I've beaten on the first run. And you can also do a Gauntlet of Strength. So over here, this is like the training area. Like most games, it kind of teaches you how to do combat. So this guy here is like an immortal character. He can't be killed,
やはり死なぬわな。
which is really interesting. It's like part of his personality and experience and stuff, but it's also that's why he's the training guy.
そこもと見事なそれがしお主死なあるいは
He's undying.
死ねぬそこも随分そこもそれがしお主死ねぬ同時承知よ
So
し
he says
刀
he can help you train.
そこもこのや俺どそこのや現またそこそれがこの社現だこの社に現まそこもそれまたそこも
There's an offering box over here. To be honest, I don't quite remember what that is. And then these little pink things on the ground, this is like in Dark Souls and Bloodborne when you're playing online. It's like little comments that other people make or like preloaded ones. So you'll see those if you're playing online. Do I have access to that? No? Okay. What I just did there is the grappling hook thing I was talking about. So in this game, to move throughout the area and explore, there's going to be those little green circles on different ledges. If you are outside of the range of the green circle, it's going to appear white like that. When you're inside and you can grapple to it, it's going to appear green. And if it's like green but kind of faded and there's like a line X through it, that means you're at an angle or something where you can't do it in that moment. But you can pretty much like really quickly grapple from one spot to another, and you can kind of use that to move through the world and stuff. Like so. It brings a sense of like verticalness to this game, which I think is really cool, and it's also just really fun to grapple around. So this is like the first kind of like area. There's going to be enemies and soldiers throughout here that you can like sneak around and fight, or just like run up to and fight, whatever your preference. So if this is like your first time playing the game, make sure you practice a little bit of the combat. So another thing is, in this game, the way it works for characters dropping items and stuff when you kill them is there's going to be like a little money symbol thing like you see right here that's yellow floating above them. And so the same button you use to grab the ledge or hug the wall, whatever console you're playing on, you hold that down, and he kind of like absorbs everything that's like in the area, money-wise. I don't think you can do it for just like regular items. You have to pick those up. But if you kill an enemy and there's like stuff, and that's how you get your money. So the money is important in this game for like buying different upgrade stuff and different important items that you're gonna need. And so these guys right here are like the first type of enemy that can like you don't immediately kill by just spamming the attack button, and so they are gonna parry you and like respond, and that's where you have to like kind of be forced to either back up and not get hit, or like learn to parry a little bit better. You can also do these like air assassinations like that, like in Assassin's Creed. Guns, kind of snipe you. If you do a good parry on these guys, they pretty much only have one good parry in them, but it's kind of like an early game mechanic to teach you how to do that. Dog. You also get some of your health back if you do successful parry attacks. I've noticed. This is the Ashina Outskirts area. And it's kind of linear. So this guy right here, I think, is going to be another mini boss. So when they do that, that's an attack that you can't parry. Doing that, he's recovering his posture. So that's the second mini boss. He probably would have dropped a prayer bead. Make sure you fight all the mini bosses, and once you get 4 of those, that's how you upgrade your health and posture. So that's really important. He just dropped a heavy coin purse because I have all the prayer beads, which in this game, those are like. Trying to think of what to compare it to. I guess in like Silk Song, it's like the rosary beads. You can like basically having the money as an item, so that if you die, you don't lose it, and so you can break it later to get more of the money. That way, it kind of helps you store it in case you die. I know there's a lot of games that do that. I just couldn't think of any in the moment. I like the death blows part of this game. It makes it really fun and exciting. So these balloons of wealth, you can pop one and basically it will increase the amount of wealth you get for a certain period of time if you want to farm money or for upgrades and stuff. Oh no, not these guys. Enemy. They have a huge popsicle bar. Tim. There's an NPC over here. She's like the first NPC that has like a little quest line you can meet. think I already did it, but... Let's see. No, I think it doesn't matter what you say.
せがれではない。
いなすけ、そんなせがはこの。
She gives you that.
いな守りほらほと。
誰ぞ。お、個人我が名は。
This is her son.
インドか。
That's thought you were. There's also these turkey enemies, which I find hilarious. A bunch of money down here for early game. I also like stealth kills because I really enjoy that little thing that you saw right there. Don't worry about that. It's not something you get on the first playthrough this early. Like that one because it lets you like dart in real quick. Do an attack, do some posture things. So for early game, I think that's like a really good option. The whirlwind slash. Doesn't get old. You can like see the remnants of ghosts who have passed on here to get some information about the area and the story. So as you could see, that one right there, if it has a little that little arrow thing, that means it's you don't just land on it like the others, it's like a swing. But I didn't think you're not supposed to do it from that angle, which is why I got. So those little shiny things that just absorbed into me is called Unseen Aid. It's kind of a thing in this game that I'll explain a little bit later. Don't need to worry about it right now. But as you can see, there's like a lot of areas to explore to fully get everything. And there's a lot of like verticality and jumping and exploring that way. Be sure to look around. Guess you can't go from here. It's gonna be ooh, I can eavesdrop. So he basically says that if you use fire, that's why you eavesdrop, because there's different perks you can get. Like, he just gave you a tip on how to oh my god, it's possible. Am I gonna use fire? No. This guy has a pellet. And fights like I don't know what the hell is that. It's pretty cool. So this is those area guys that I would like. Just instead of worrying about parrying and doing the stagger, I would just worry about the health. But that's just how I because he does a lot of charge attacks too. You can also okay, so oh damn, we're not there yet. So Sekiro, there's a cutscene. Sekiro has an interesting component where you can choose after dying to resurrect or stay dead. But you can only do that like one time, and I think it's connected to the divine air somehow. You literally didn't even touch me. So he is a permakill. And you get a prayer bead from him. Oh wait, I gotta rest. So yeah, I forget in this game you don't just automatically like heal and reset the area just by sitting there. You have to like rest. This power is so sick. Yeah, you're not gonna see this until like basically almost end game. But on the new game plus, I have the perk of being able to still use it. Except for the actual skill that I seem to have for it. There's a lot of mini bosses in this game. Also, there's another one coming up. I know we just beat one, but same type of enemy as the other general we beat. Same format of fight, I guess. Out of this. Don't worry, it'll be your turn soon enough. Can't stand that in this game when you're fighting a boss, or like not a boss but like a mini boss, and all the little underlings keep try and mess with you. Yeah, so every one of those little mini bosses I fought, but every one of those like the chained ogre and the two like generals I just fought, like they probably all drop prayer beads. Aid. I think that also like plays into your ability to revive. Where's the green? on the way down, I just saw where I had to go. Oh, you're supposed to die there too? Or is that just, when you die a certain amount of times, it explains this rot thing?
目覚めたようじゃな。因果よの。なかなかに死にきれぬようじゃ。
So you don't want to build this up. Having this item, the more times you die in this game, the more of this rot builds up and the less unseen aid you get. So in that way, kind of dying a lot punishes you in this game. Give me a moment. And it kind of like scales up with like increased deaths and stuff. Let me run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Let's go.
誠に
Over here we meet
息を
Emma,
吹き返したのですね。流因の力
who is
この目で
like
しか
the
見ることになるとは。
何者だ。
why am I
エマ
blanking?
と言います。猿お方に仕えるクス氏です。
猿お方と。
Oh my god, the
すみ
firekeeper
ません。
in Dark Souls,
主の命
and like the doll
任せ
in
ません。
Bloodborne, and the maiden in Elden Ring.
あ
She
なた
kind
を
of does
助
your
けよ
leveling
う
up
と
and stuff like that.
そ
But
う
you don't really
仰
level
せ
up,
使っ
so.
ています。信用しですが、あなたが持っているそれはクス氏として
She levels up your
助
healing.
けとなりましょう。
この表。
はい。
But I have
あ
all
な
of
たが
it.
譲り受け気づいてこの表尽きたと
クスシとして
ひょうたん
種だ。
Yeah, you bring her the gourd
Hi.
seeds that you find in the game, and she upgrades your,
新たな
gives you more
種を
healing
加えれば
gourds.
手に入れたら
I think you start the game with 3 if it's your first playthrough. But mine's fully upgraded. She also has like dialogue and stuff. What am I doing? Here. So we still haven't gotten to the first main boss yet. Those were all mini bosses, which is kind of a unique thing in Sekiro because I feel like we've come a good ways and haven't met the first boss yet. But kind of build the learning around the game and the challenges and the fighting and everything. Oh yeah, so you jump down and then you grab. So we want to like sneak by so the Great Serpent doesn't see us. It's an enemy we can kill later in the game, but not really right now. See what I just did? You can kind of like chain jump like that. So that, who they're referencing, is the first boss. And we are approaching. Excuse me. That teaches you that you can use gunpowder to startle a horse. Or a bull, honestly, in this game too. I believe this right here is the start of the boss fight. Obviously I skipped. There were some enemies and items probably down there. Let's see what I skipped.
Oniwa Gyoubu Masataka Nari.
This is the first boss. To grapple over to him. Wait, what? Shinobi Execution. So that's the first boss of this game, Gyoubu Oniwa. He has that horse he rides around. He uses a spear. When he gets too far away, you can do the grapple, you can use the firecrackers to get a damage opportunity. And as you saw there, when you beat a main boss in this game, you unlock the memory where you can actually go back and like fight the boss again, which I think is pretty cool. Also coming all the way across the arena over here. I missed this on my first playthrough. You can come up here. There is a merchant up here. So there are these little tents throughout the game where there are some merchants. So you can buy and sell things here. This is a good item that we're gonna talk about later. When we get to a certain enemy, we can also buy some coin purses, which basically kind of just invests our money in kind of being stored in our inventory, so that if we die, we're all set. And there's an NPC in here.
ネズミがいやその目切る前に名乗り忍びは大概じゃがその左腕なるほどならば赤色お主をそう呼ぼうお前は何だ
So he names you Sekiro.
わしはアシナの天狗よ。お主もネズミ狩りをなんだこのアシナにはネズミもそれをどうやらお主にもどうじゃ赤色
Yes.
承知したよし赤色よこれは切ってまいりさすれば
He'll give you a goodie if you kill some rats for him. The rats are people. Also, I didn't do this when I first played through because I actually just did it earlier today. But if you come, oops, shit. So you don't take damage from falling really, so. Oh, come on. My God, this is so annoying. Seems to be another NPC.
鬼の行けれど戦はあんたないんだからさババがなあんたのそういうさバそ
So up here is one of the prayer beads, but because I already have all of them, it gave me a different item instead. But that's one of the prayer bead locations. Right. Yeah, I totally missed that the first time I played through. I just went. think you had to be locked on to the enemy, or it didn't access any option. I'm used to Assassin's Creed where it kind of like auto-fills it for you. I think, are these the rats that you're talking about? Or are they the ones that were fucking wrong? Oh boy. Dropped on those guys, but I know what's up ahead. There's gonna be a bull. Like I depleted its health first. They set that bull up on purpose to stop me from advancing. That's what you could eavesdrop on. So this is Ashina. Meet a strange little NPC here too. Now you can go over there and also up here. So the blazing bull drops a prayer bead as well. and also down there. So this is a really good place to just like take your time and fully explore. There's a lot of interesting stuff here. This place is also going to be like a main area in the game, and it's going to be an area that changes a lot over the course of the game because you can be here at this point in the game, but you also come back later, and there's all sorts of stuff that happens here. He was talking about. So this is where that's not why I did that. There's gonna be a mini boss out there. But basically this is the reservoir area that you saved Kuro from at the beginning of the game. This is where we started. Well, not where we started, but this is where we snuck to when we started. But I'm going to try and sneak attack this boss. At least make the fight easier. an oncoming spear like that when it has that, like, not dodgeable thing going on. He also drops the prayer bead. So I don't really have to fight the mini bosses that drop the prayer beads. Your motivation for coming over and fighting them is for the prayer bead, but I want to get videos for everybody, kind of like a thorough walkthrough and fight everybody again as if I were playing for the first time, so probably will continue to do so. So this is the door that you go through. Beginning. Close enough. Drop the gatehouse key. Alright. So now that I have access to this, this is a new area you can unlock, and there's another merchant down here. And I think he sells a prayer bead. Yeah, right here. And the mask fragment.
Shichizu.
Headless. I saw another streamer playing Sekiro for the first time, and he just like went in. His thing is OG Joshi, with 2 Y's. And I follow him. He plays a lot of the Souls games, and he was streaming Sekiro. I think he's streaming Sekiro right now. He's ahead of me, and he went to fight one of those for the first time because he's never played the game, and it's a bad idea. I was like, don't do it. Because you need the divine confetti item that I've been kind of pointing out to fight those bosses. Otherwise, you get cursed and it like doesn't really work out. We got another NPC over here. Headless is not the only thing that's down here. I think it's really weird that they have these frickin' enemies. I feel like they kind of try to put animal enemies in this game, and sometimes they just feel random. Also swimming in this game. You can dive underwater in certain areas, and there will be like prayer beads and hidden items and chests underwater. Not right here, but in general. This game is honestly so fun and interesting. It's like got a mix between like Ghosts of Tsushima, Assassin's Creed, Souls. Things too. That's what's like down there.
五人そこの五人
So this is Senpou Temple, who that like hag merchant lady was referencing. This is a whole.
こちらをボスこの戦法寺は皆そうで虜となりお帰りになられそれでこの戦法寺にただどうかこの戦法ただ
I'm not gonna get into this place yet. I just wanted to kind of fully explore. Also, I feel like there's another. Another thing down there. What? Let's see. Oh, cool. You keep the rice ball stuff too? That's for an alternate ending. I did a lot of stuff required for one of the alternate endings, but ended up going with another alternate. So basically, there's the main ending. There's 4 endings in this game for trophies. There's the main ending, which is the Immortal Severance, the Purification ending, which is what I did, and they all kind of like have different things that you have to like give to Kuro at the end. Then there's a secret ending that's like the Divine Dragon or Dragon something ending, and that has to do with like all this rice and persimmon and stuff that so I did like a lot of that, but I went with the Purification ending anyway. And then there's the Shura ending, which is like the bad ending, and that one cuts off the game like kind of halfway through. Like you end up fighting a different final boss or a different version of the final boss in like a different way, and like you become like a outlaw or so. You kind of like choose to go against the people you've been on the side with up till now. And so that game that kind of like shortens the ending. I'm not gonna do that. I haven't done that one yet, but I'm not going to do that this run because I want to, for my stream, I want to do as much as possible. So I'm not going to do that ending. I'm probably going to try and do that Secret Dragon one this time through. But if I fucked up that, I could still get a new trophy by doing the Immortal Severance one because that's like the basic ending. But there's 4 different endings, so it's like I did the Purification one, and I'm still going to have to beat the game another 2.5 times counting this run. So anyway, what am I looking for? This. So I might as well fight Headless while we're down here. I'll show you guys that fight. There's a couple of them in the game. They're like the same enemy. They might scale a little bit harder though, depending on what area. I'm not sure. You need to have your Divine Confetti, because it does like this thing that decreases the curse buildup or whatever, and actually lets you do damage against the enemy, because you can't really damage them with like a regular sword. So that other streamer that I was watching didn't know what he was getting into. And the first time I played this, I also did the same thing where I was like, ooh, enemy. So I found one, there's one that's earlier than this. And I found that one first when I played this. Which I can go back and kill that one later too. And I believe they have 2 health bars as well. Down here. I literally was there a second ago. I just don't remember. like, you can still die. I guess that stuff does a lot of damage. And the confetti will wear off. This one is called a Shichimen warrior. It's technically not one of the Headless, but it's the same thing as the Headless. Kind of like a maze. It feels like he's in the wrong game. So now I need to use more. See the curse build up on me. That's what does massive damage, I guess. Question is, yeah, okay, I have enough to buy me. Because it is a finite resource. But I'm gonna need it for other bosses in the game, but I can buy more at all the merchants. Probably get away when he's there. That's what does the massive damage. Timing. Now he probably also drops a prayer bead. All of these bosses, like I said, the incentive for all of these bosses is to get the prayer beads. So you can upgrade your health and posture, which is huge. Wait, didn't I come in this way? The other one. So basically it's the same strategy for Headless. There's multiple of the Shichimen warriors or whatever they're called, but it's the same thing. So Headless is back at the beginning. We can fight him too. So she gives you a hint here and says, will you cast yourself out? So you're going to want to jump down here and... Oh, I missed it. Nope, I didn't. Very far down, and then trust the process. Oh, god damn it. Where's the, Hello? Oh, you gotta do it again? What the heck is that? Where do you have to jump? I don't remember. Oh, you gotta go up this way. I'm very much deviating from exploring Ashina Castle and like what you would be normally doing, but this is obviously all accessible at that point, or at this point, because I'm doing it. Showing you all the different paths that diverge from Ashina Castle once you get to that point. Oh, I remember this place. I think there's a mini boss somewhere around here. Aha! Here he is. He also has a prayer bead. And this lake is going to do poison buildup. So this is that. I think I'm just going to take the death here. But this is that area of Sekiro that has like the poison lake and whatnot. I think my mistake was there are other... Where are the other enemies? There are other people around here. There's also another idol down here. I'm gonna grab my food and take a brief break. From here, I can continue exploring Sun Power Temple, this area here, continuing on from the depths, and also going back to Ashina Castle. So I'm going to take a brief break, and I will be back. Alright. I am back. So, I think I'm gonna play Sekiro for a little bit longer, maybe do a couple more mini-bosses and explore a little bit more, and then I'm gonna wrap up for tonight, and I might switch over to doing some Final Fantasy, so I might still stream, but just do some Final Fantasy, like no mic and stuff. But yeah, I'll play a little bit longer. And we got plenty more of these streams to come. That catches you, you're like done. I don't remember this boss being this difficult, or it's not even a boss, it's a mini boss, but I don't remember it being this difficult the first time I played. Maybe it's because I play a different strategy now, because I'm actually playing the game the way you're supposed to. What did I do? I used to just do this, and then I would basically just do this. And it's effective, it just takes forever. And it's not about building up posture, it's just about whittling down their health. So I will bore you guys with this method. Because I find it pretty... I mean, at least for me, this is how I was able to beat these bosses and be successful with this game. At least with some of these stupid side boss stuff. Like, why put guns in Sekiro? Just... Bro! Because there are like, this enemy repeats. There are other versions of it. Like at the gun fort. And you can probably a strategy could be to like sneak up on this mini boss and like do a death blow damage before starting the fight. Bloodborne? They just wanted to make this game Bloodborne. Die. Time to reset. Wow. Basically, this is how I beat it. The worst thing it has is that grab attack. Although I don't really feel like... being a target of every single enemy in the whole place. This is also coincidentally how I beat Lady Butterfly the first time. Just does insane damage. So this strategy would work a lot better if I had already gotten a death blow in. Just having to do this multiple times is annoying. And like I said, I don't even have to do this because I already have the item it drops. But the best time to attack is when when it can't do that parry thing and when it's got its guard down so it actually does damage. Like more damage. Bro. So like that would have been a victory if I had snuck up on it. No, you didn't. I dodged that, but whatever. poison pool? I gotta go to the one before it. Where is the boss? Because when I came from over there, it was right here. How do you sneak up on him then? Is the only way to sneak up on him from like behind there, but I don't have access to that yet? Like I said, there's another version of this enemy, and it looks like if I advance to an area behind him, I can sneak up on him from there, but we're not there yet. So we're gonna go back to... take me a second to remember how to find what I'm looking for because I haven't played this in a while. Actually, I lied. I think I already found it. I also forgot up here, there is another person.
Shichara-san. 死者かどこへ
But this is also not what I was really looking for, but just so you know. This is up here. No, I was already here though. can't behead the Headless. That's Headless. Jesus. So there are, I think, 5 total Headless in this game, and 2 or 3 of the warrior guy, wizard dude thing I fought earlier in the stream that you need the divine confetti for. Wait, if he just does... Wait a second. I gotta be able to move. Because even if I parry, it's doing the build up of terror. It's been too long since I played this game. I'm like a totally different player with it too now, so... feel like I'm missing something or I'm doing something wrong, but whatever. Maybe it doesn't do terror buildup if you perfect parry? Is that like the gimmick? It's so annoying, you can't even move. It's still building up that terror thing. Something is happening that's wrong. This is not how I remember this going. So, if you use the pacifying agent, you can reduce the terror buildup, and that will probably help a bit. There's also a strategy that involves using the prosthetic tool finger whistle upgrade malcontent. I have not gotten that yet because I haven't upgraded the prosthetic tools much. I don't remember it being that difficult though after getting the Divine Confetti, so... So annoying. How did I stumble upon the most annoying mini-bosses? No, I only have 4 Divine Confetti left, so... I certainly will not be doing all 5 of these, or all 3 of the... I forgot what they're called. The warrior things. Oops. Shit. Patient. Probably just do 1 of each, so I've already done 1. Now I just gotta beat Headless once. And then I'll probably be all set. Because I already have I've already beaten all of them. They're really annoying. You have to use so many items to beat them. But I thought you could, like, at least dodge. I don't remember, like, getting stuck where you can, like, the mist. I thought the Divine Confetti was supposed to help with that, but it doesn't seem like it's doing much. And he's, like, all the time. jump? You have to do damage. Well, it's not very helpful. Don't just hit him. Says you can jump, but that's not going to help if he does like a downward straight slash attack. Ugh, I'm going to have to go get more divine confetti, isn't it? Remember it being that annoying though. Only 2 hits. Oh, there we go. I guess you just gotta be really aggressive. Once you get to phase 2, maybe? Oh. Never mind, it's back. Jump away when he tries to grab you, I guess. Alrighty, we did it. Oof, well that was Headless. I will certainly be buying more of those confettis. Alright, I think that'll wrap it up for me for tonight. When I come back, I will be continuing on with Ashina Castle, eventually going back down to that area with the mini-boss I was fighting earlier to continue. And then I still have Senpou Temple to explore too, so. Thank you for joining me for my first stream for Sekiro. I hope you guys all have a good night.